Hello guys, how's it going this week? So we're on to the third and final archetype unit type for set 4. We are very close to releasing the set, and they are, if you have not already been paying attention to the channel, they are the butterfly type units. Now these units, there's not a massive deal of them because of the sheer number of other units we've got in set 4, but they are very reliable. So the main aspect of this new type of unit is card draw, because we know that in this game hands can run a little bit dry, so we are going to be looking at some of the newer cards which can help a player with a possible hand faculty. So we're going to go straight into the units. First one is card number 20, which is Crystal Butterfly, and it's a rare and it costs one of every colour. Now its cost already is pretty rare in itself because a lot of the other butterflies are very low and very easy to play. However, when this one enters play, you get to generate 3 elements of any colour, so you kind of automatically get in that refund and draw 2 cards. So straight away with this new archetype we are drawing cards just for this unit entering play, as long as you can get the initial cost, which can be a little bit tricky, but if you're playing a lot of multicolored terrains it shouldn't be a problem. But as long as you can get the initial cost out of the way, you're going to get that refund and a draw 2 card effect. Also when he hits on a 6, he gets to draw another 2 cards. So this could very possibly be in a lot of newer decks. Got 200 attack power and 300 HP. Moving on, there's an uncommon called Nightwing Butterfly. It costs 1 black, basic 100 unit. When it's in play you can destroy the units to draw a card, again with the card draw mechanic, and then whenever you roll a 5 or a 6 you get to hit and draw a card on that. So as per previous mentioned, very card draw effective, even just for rolling a 5 or a 6. Moving on, we've got Glimmer Butterfly, which is an uncommon and it costs 2 of any colour. Again, a very weak unit, 1/1, but it's got a static ability what says once per turn, whenever you draw a card you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So it's a bit of a mouthful, but it's always good if you've got something in your hand such as a terrain. When you've maxed out your terrain space, you get to draw another card. Moving on, we've got Wildwing Butterfly, which is a common, can be cost 2 blue or 2 green. Very common unit, this one. No card draw effect, it's more so to help you with some of the action cards that we're going to be seeing on later on, but this is just a basic 200-300 units. Next up is Gold Leaf Butterfly, a rare unit, costs 3 white, 200 attack, 500 HP, so it's got quite a nice substantial amount of HP. And it's got a static ability what says whenever another butterfly causes you to draw a card, draw another. This could trigger a maximum of 5 times in a turn. Now the really interesting thing about this is that these red abilities, the triggered abilities, can only usually trigger a maximum of 2 times per turn. Now because this states otherwise, this allows you to draw a maximum of 5 times in a turn. Obviously it's only really effective if you've got multiple card draw affecting units out in play, but basically this will coincide with the Glimmering Butterfly, the Nightwing Butterfly, Crystal Butterfly. So it's a really nice unit, and for 3 elements it's got 500 HP. It should survive a good few turns with that. Obviously draw a card, you get another card draw. As simple as that. Moving on, we've got Sapphire, which is an uncommon, 300-200 unit. When it dies, draw 2 cards. Octawing, a little bit, it's a 3 cost unit, 400-400, so it's got pretty decent stats. Whenever it attacks, all of your attacking butterfly and nymph units cannot be the target of enemy battle cards this turn. So that's always got, that's basically cast like a nice little umbrella over your units, just to give them that little bit of extra protection. Now, on a 5, the unit gains 100 attack, making it 500 attack power. And then on a 6 you get to prevent the next 200 damage dealt to a unit this turn, so that unit is one of your choice. So as soon as you roll that 6 you get to pick a unit, and then you get to basically put a nice little shield around that unit. No card draw on this unit, but this is more of a defensive one, just to try and help keep your other butterfly type units in play, basically make them last a bit longer. Violet Wing, common, but again very common unit, 2 cost, but it's 300 attack, 300 HP, and it only misses on a 1. I love the artwork on this one as well. And that is it. So like I said, not many, but they are quite effective. I'm going to very quickly be going on to the terrains and the action cards. So this one is Enchanted Arbor. Now we've seen this one already in the nymph video, the video before this one. So it generates 1 element of any colour. This terrain will only generate an element if there's a nymph or a butterfly occupying it. Obviously with the 2 new archetypes you should be seeing this quite a lot. And the units here cannot be targeted by enemy action cards. So again, it puts that really nice shield over your important units to prevent them from being taken out by enemy action cards. Eastward Sunplant. Now we've got 3 of these. We've got Eastward, Westward, and I think it's Northern or Southern or whatever it is. If this card is played to the right of your core, the butterflies here gain 200 HP, so this is giving them a nice little health boost. Whenever a butterfly on this terrain dies, you may choose to draw a card. So it's a relic, but it kind of does the same thing as to what the butterfly archetype does. Again, it's with the card draw, and obviously you want to shunt this relic over to the right side of your core so that they gain that nice HP boost. Then we've got the Westward, which is pretty much the same thing, but it's got to be pointing to the left side of your core. So if you can already see what's going on here, you've got Eastward looking to the right and Westward looking to the left. And then you've got the Northward, or it should really be the Northern, but I'm going to call it the Northward Sunplant, which says if this is placed on your core, you know, in the centre of your play, the butterflies here gain 300 HP, so you get a little bit more of a HP boost on this one. Whenever you play a butterfly on this stack, you may draw a card. So the difference here is the Eastward and the Westward is when that unit dies. This is when you play a butterfly onto the stack, you draw a card. So there's no harm in playing it onto the terrain, and then in the next turn you can shunt it over, you can move the unit over to one of the left or the right side, and then you can play another butterfly onto the Northward Sunplant to get that extra card draw. So that's the Northward, Westward and the Eastward Sunplants. Then you've got Scatter of Dust, a common action stroke battle card. What says all of your butterfly units gain 100 attack or HP this turn, you get to choose. You can play it during your main phase or the battle phase, which makes it really reliant. Then we've got Swarm of Butterflies, an uncommon action battle card again. You may put any number of butterfly units from your hand into play for free. So obviously this will kind of benefit the more trickier cards, units to get into play, such as the Crystal Butterfly and so on and so forth. Next up is a common relic, Flower Pollen. So if the unit on this stack is a nymph, it gains 200 attack. If the unit on this stack is a butterfly, it gains 200 HP. So obviously with the butterfly they're going to be gaining an extra health boost, which will hopefully prevent them from being killed off or being taken out by action cards. Then we've got Calling Buzz, a 2-cost uncommon action card, so you can only play it on your main phase. You can only play this card if you already have a butterfly unit in play. Search your deck for a butterfly unit with a play cost of 3 or less and put it straight into play. Obviously that's if you've got the terrain space available to do so, but as long as you've got a butterfly unit in play, you just get to basically tutor your deck for any butterfly with a cost of 3 or less, which is pretty much almost all of the ones we've just seen. Just basically chuck it into play, and if you get a trigger, you get a free trigger for a 2 cost of any colour for that. That will be a really obvious choice to play. Then you've got Mystical Alliance, this is an action and a response card. It's 2 cost of any colour. Deal 100 damage to a unit for each butterfly unit you have in play. Given that they are really easy to get into play, and you've got a nice handful of other ways to get them into play, if you can get about 5 or 6 butterflies into play at the same time, this will obviously deal 600 damage to any unit in play. Essence Forest, which is a special terrain, it generates green. Butterfly and Nymph units here cost 1 element less to play onto this terrain, so obviously that's reducing with 1 of any colour, and I believe that is it. So not as many cards as the previous archetypes, but I think the artwork, the playstyle, the card draw mechanic, you know, you can very easily slot some of these cards into other decks if needs be. All in all, I think it's a pretty decent archetype. Obviously let me know your comments and your thoughts in the description down below, whether you like both the artwork and the abilities, or whether you just prefer the artwork, or whether you just prefer the mechanic. Hopefully it will speed up a lot of gameplay as well. It will, you know, hopefully it will make people have much better hands, you know, card draw, you know, ease of play and all that like. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. So if you want, just let me know what you think of the cards down below. And if you've got anything else you want to say, just let me know. And you know, hopefully we can start to see some more gameplay videos. I really want to try and get some more gameplay videos up, and obviously I'm working on project number 2 as well. So yeah, that is that. Anyway guys, thanks very much for watching. If you've not already, please subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. I'll see you later.